Erev Tov, Rabbi. Since we heard what happened over there in Israel, all those things, right? We heard about those things. Right, our friend over here yesterday, he talked about it a little bit, Boris. But I want to tell you something interesting, that now people are talking about this, a little bit. The question is, when your enemy falls down, and the enemy of the Jews, the Rashaim, are you allowed to be happy, and rejoice, make a celebration, make a party, sing a song, or you have to be sad, because people died, it's even though it's your enemy, right? This is the question people are asking.
It's only 5 or 7 people died. No,
that's not the issue. Anyway, right? That's not the issue. Right, so, are you allowed to rejoice when your enemy falls down, the enemy of the Jews? This is the question, So the truth is, this answer has many elements. We have to explain a lot of things over here. So number one, right? There's a couple of things. First of all, when we had in the Exodus from Egypt, right, when the Jews left Mitzrayim, so what happened was, right, that Paro came to chase them on Yam Suf, right? You know what happened, right? So what happened over there? So when they drowned, the Egyptians, Hashem drowned them. So what did they do after that? They Aziyashir Moshe, right? They made a song, Why? Because they rejoiced over the downfall of the Mitzrim. We say this every day, right? In the Tefillah, every day we say this in Shachrit, Aziyashir, right? Because it's a mitzvah to say every day, to remember the nest that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made for us. So, you see from there that you're supposed to rejoice. But there's a midrash about this. It says in the midrash like this, that when the Egyptians were dying, right, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu told to the malachim, to the angels, he told them, why are you rejoicing? They were also rejoicing. They were also happy, He told them, why are you happy? My creations, my briot are dying, and you're happy? What are you really happy about? So how do we explain this, to reconcile? So the answer is, it says in the Rashi there, on the commentary, it's in Shemot Tetvav, if you want to see, right, the whole thing there. So it says over there that in the upper world, right, up in Shemaim, Hashem says, don't rejoice, over the downfall of the wicked. But on the Ba'aretz, on that Ba'adama, over here, we do rejoice. So there's 2 different halachot, One for Shemaim, over there Hashem tells them, don't rejoice. But when it comes to the earth, right, tells us, do rejoice. And that's why we said, Aziyashir, right, that's the whole thing, right? We rejoiced. And you know what happened over there, right? When they said Aziyashir, it wasn't just like this, singing. No, they had instruments, cymbals and, everything. There was instruments over there. There was a band, and they were dancing also, dancing. They were not only that they were singing, they were dancing. Like Simchat Torah, This is what they were doing over there. So you see from there, right, it's very clear that's the way it's supposed to be. That's number one. Number two, there's also another thing, It says in the Mishlei, Shlomo Melech, it says that when your enemy falls down, don't rejoice over that, Don't be happy when your enemy falls. So a lot of people are asking, what about this, how does Shlomo Melech, right, say this, that the wisest of the men, don't rejoice. So, I'll explain to you the answer. I'll tell you a story, which is in Masechet Megillah, right, in Tetvav, Amud Aleph. It says over there that what happened was that as Haman, the enemy of the Jews, right, the Sorer Yehudim, was beginning to fall down, and then Mordechai was happy, and he was rejoicing. So, because, the Achashverosh told to Haman, go and, ride Mordechai, dress him, and give him a haircut, and dress him, and give him kavod, like a melech, so Mordechai was happy, that Haman had to be his slave, now, like a slave. By the way, in the beginning they say, the Chazal, Haman was really the slave of Mordechai. He was Eved. Eved Kanani he was. Mordechai bought him as a slave. So I'm not going to get into the story over there. He was Eved, of Mordechai. So now he came back, to the same thing, again, Eved Mordechai. Same thing, So once Haman saw, right, that Mordechai was happy, rejoicing, that he fell down, Haman, So he told him, he says, doesn't it say in your Torah, in the Mishlei, in Shlomo Melech, he says, don't rejoice, over your downfall of your enemy. So why are you so happy, that I'm falling down? So you know what Mordechai answered him, right? Mordechai answered him, yeah, it's true. That's talking about the Jewish enemy, we're supposed to rejoice when the Jewish enemy falls down. But if it's the enemy of the Jews, the Goyim, there we are supposed to rejoice. That's 2 different things. He told him, he explained to him, you're wrong, you're not saying it right, So Haman was trying to say, you're not allowed to. But Mordechai told him, no, you're not a Jew. You know what? I have to, that's not, it's not talking about you. this Mishle over there. Not the same thing. Also, we see the same thing, where, again, right, same thing, in Sefer Shoftim. Right, over there, we're talking about the war against Sisra, Sisra was a big general, and he was giving tzarot to the Jews, a lot of tzarot. So what happened was that Devorah, and Barak, who were the leaders of that generation, they went out to war, against Sisra, and they destroyed everything, destroyed him, Sisra. So what did they do after they finished the war? They made a song, Devorah, right? Shir Devorah, the song of Devorah. Again, right, same thing. They rejoiced, they made a song, and they celebrated. That's the way it is.
They were praising Hashem. It's like
Yeah, but it's also, what does it say in Azia Shir? It says Hashem drowned them in the sea, So we're celebrating that they got drowned. Not only because he saved us.
not Jewish nation. Hashem drowned them.
Yeah, Hashem drowned them. Exactly, that's the whole thing.
Praying Hashem.
Right, but that's the whole thing, So we're rejoicing over the downfall over the enemies. That's the whole point. We're celebrating, So we're allowed to celebrate. We're not allowed to celebrate when your enemy falls down, your Jewish enemy. If you celebrate this, right? No good. You know what they say, right? If you celebrate when your Jewish enemy falls down, Hashem will see this, and He'll punish you too. So be careful, Don't do that. If you have somebody, Jew, who doesn't like you, you don't like him,
If your heart gets broke, you don't be happy.
Exactly. Don't be happy, because even though, he did something bad to you, let's say he stole from you, he was ganav, whatever, right? Something like this, right? Or he did something to you, doesn't matter. When he falls down, don't make a party, don't sing songs. When he's falling down, he's a Jew. You're not allowed to do that. That's something else, we're not talking about that, So it really depends on the situation, you know what I mean? So therefore, right, the rule is, as we said, that when it comes to the Goyish enemy, right, we're supposed to rejoice, when they fall down, because they're our enemies. When you are the enemy of the Jews, you are also the enemy of Hashem. So we have to, because we are the people of Hashem. So we have to rejoice over that they fall down, So now, right, the Baruch Hashem, we're happy, because they, what happened over there. I don't have to tell you, right? You know the story over there, what happened over there. That's the whole thing, So we're rejoicing, Baruch Hashem, and don't tell me now, you're not supposed to rejoice, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know who says these kinds of things? The Goyim, they say, don't be happy, when your enemy falls down, because they have Christian ideas, these people, Christian,
Sisra got killed by the Yitros grandchild, woman.
Okay, nice story, right, Yael, right, yes, true, Yael, she killed him with a peg, right, exactly. So that's the way it is, so therefore, Rabotai, you're supposed to rejoice over the downfall of the Goyish enemy, that hates the Jews, afflicting the Jews. That's what we're supposed to do. That's exactly what we're going to do also when Mashiach comes, We're going to rejoice over the downfall of Edom, right? Romi, because they're the ones who afflicted us for 2,000 years. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen. Rabbi Hanan Yamek HaShomer, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכר ישראל, לפיכך חיבר להם תורה ומצוות שנאמר אדוני חפץ, למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר.